What's up, everybody? Ryan, ATX Metal Podcast, back again on a Sunday afternoon here with my man Nick Haas. We've got new music, Terminal Decay. You can hear it playing in the background. I've had some constructive criticisms on how I can improve, and people like the old way of doing it, but I'm trying it a little bit differently, so we're just going to let this play in the background for you. Nick, go ahead and introduce yourself, where you're from, what you do, what project you're currently advocating for, and then we'll just kind of go from there.
Sure. What's up, everybody? My name is Nick Haas. I am from Houston, Texas. So previously, I was in the project, the Haas Effect, more kind of genty prog stuff. But then I just went to straight deathcore with Terminal Decay. Really enjoying it. Kind of like more on the horror, anime, and heavier music style aspect of things. But really have found my place with doing music and things like this. And currently right now I'm working on a 4-song EP. What was playing just now was my second single, which was Rena's Descent. That was loosely based on Higurashi, a horror anime.
Yeah. We caught up last night a little bit. So Nick and I have known each other for a long time. He's produced and created some really good music that I, in my opinion, I think is great. So Nick, appreciate you for your talents, young man.
Of course.
When I saw this Terminal Decay and you're like, yeah, it's deathcore horror anime, I was like, yep. And the anime, I got stuck, and I've said this on previous episodes. It's not that I don't like it. It's just that I can't really wrap my head around it. I don't know. But again, I appreciate it for the art. I know that my daughter, she's 12 and she's super into it. Like, I think, let me just ask the question. Like, is it generational? Like, I feel like young, because I'm 42. I'm old geezer these days. Nick, are you late 20s, early 30s?
I just turned 36 in May.
Oh my God, look at you, you strapping young lad. So, okay, so maybe it's not generational and I just suck, but
yeah. Wait, did I turn 36 or 35? I don't remember now. It might be 35.
You know what? We'll just say mid 30s.
That's fine. Yeah. Yeah.
There's plus or minus.
Yeah, age is it's a thing now. It just happens.
It just happens.
You wake up and next day you're 40, and it's like, oh, that's why my back hurts. That's why my back hurts. Why?
You just slowly devolve, and it's just I was listening to a segment on NPR where they were talking about how scientists think they're on the path to figuring out how to stop cells from self-destructing. Apparently in our DNA, in our cells, there is a line of code that says you will terminate on X. I don't know, right? Like it's beyond my thinking and my brain power. And I just thought that was interesting, that if they can figure out how to make cells not do that, that's essentially what they were getting at, is they could go in there and trigger cancer cells to die immediately, or they could tell they could tell the good cells to, hey, you should hang around a lot longer because Ryan needs good cartilage, so don't deteriorate, so he gets a C5 fucking whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, music. We're here about music, not about my decaying body.
Yes, music.
But we are here about terminal decay. Oh,
hang on. Yeah, your terminal decaying body.
I'm terminally full circle. So why the switch? I mean, the last time that you put out music, to my knowledge, that we spoke about was the Haas Effect. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yeah, okay. That's right. Last song that I did was called Lost to the Flood.
Okay.
Yeah, I really liked it. I actually had Clayton King do a master on it, but yeah, it came out a great song. I wanted to do something more just heavier. I really wanted to do something heavier. I started listening to heavier bands, Lorna Shore, Whitechapel, Job for a Cowboy, things like that. I mean, which the first deathcore or heavy deathcore band that I ever heard was definitely Job for a Cowboy. I was back in high school. that's when I started to scream. I wanted to scream like Johnny and everything. And, then after that, it was Suicide Silence, like when the cleansing came out and everything. And yeah. And I remember, I would still try to scream like Mitch and everything. And so recently, I just wanted to write heavier music. And I went into I went to my bedroom and I was talking to my wife. I was like, I want to write some like heavy deathcore music because I started watching, really getting into these horror animes. And the music, of course, it was creepy in the animes and stuff like that. But I felt like they needed a better storytelling with heavier music to really kind of sell that emotions and things that they're going through. Like with the song that Rena's Descent, again, is based on Higurashi. And basically in that moment, Rena loses her shit essentially. And she like goes on a killing spree. But it's just, yeah, it's fucked. It's really fucked. She like, yeah. And so like the sound effects and everything, and I actually hire voice actors to play out the characters. So with the upcoming
Really?
EP and everything, yes, I will hire out voice actors to actually voice the characters. So it's not an AI person or anything like that. It's an actual person that is doing the lines that I type out for them. So yeah, it's been a really interesting project for me. I've gotten a lot of feedback from it. A lot of people really like it. I've started also to reach out to Slam Worldwide to kind of to get some promotion for it and everything, and I'll just let them have it, and it gets tons of views that way too. It gets new listeners, and people are like, "Hey, I like this." And
Real quick,
yeah,
shout out to my boy Sean from the band Decay. He runs the Instagram page Filthy Breakdowns.
well,
So
yeah, dude, Sean's so dope. I actually want to have him on a track of mine eventually. But yeah, dude, he got me onto Filthy Breakdowns, the playlist. I think both of my songs are on there. But yeah, every time I have a song come out, I reach out to him. He's super cool. Love that playlist.
he's created such a good following there. And I remember when because there's like Breakdown King, then there's Filthy Breakdowns, and I think there's one more, and it's Sean and forgive me, brother, for forgetting your name. There's another guy behind it. I think it's Cameron Norris from the Dreamer Agency. I could be wrong. I think that's correct. They're both out of like New Mexico, Arizona.
Cool. Okay.
So yeah, I've again, like I was saying earlier before we started recording, that 2025 for me has been a very, very interesting and off year in terms of podcasting and life. And like, I had not what I think was a dream job working as the shop foreman for a brand new Genesis dealership in Round Rock. I appreciated the opportunity to be able to stand that up and teach people the things that I know about, automotive. And, it basically came down to it that it was a budget decision, that they were paying me way too much money, and fucking Wall Street wasn't happy. So they were like, well, brother, you got to go.
Wow.
I mean, it was good. And I spoke about it on the episode that I recorded previous to this one, that, I took honestly about 2 months off after that, and just kind of tried to figure out, what's my next move? And
dude,
kind of like how we talked last night, you've been through a little bit of a whirlwind in the job world.
Yeah.
And so I think we all have had a lot going on this year, because our country, not just our country, but the world is like it's busy. There's in the information age, you can literally find out almost anything about anything. And there's so much, there's so much consumption, and everybody wants your attention for more than 6 seconds. And, so I've been busy over here trying to build something to where I can bring people over and have honest, wholesome conversations, kind of like we're doing, and kind of reconnect with everybody on a ground level. And that's why I'm always a proponent of going to shows and sharing people's music and stuff. But anyway, enough of this fucking sad story. Yeah. So Filthy Breakdowns, Terminal Decay on the playlist. Who was the character that you mentioned? It's you just
Rena?
damn it. Yeah. But before that, it starts with the H. Here, god damn it.
Oh, you're talking about Higurashi.
There you go. Yeah. What is that?
So that's a whole show. So that's actually a whole show, a whole anime that I got into. So it's called Higurashi When They Cry. And so it's basically, I don't want to spoil anything because it's kind of, it's psychological horror for sure, because it takes the aspect of, think of it this way, Groundhog Day. Have you ever seen Groundhog Day?
Of course, I'm 42.
Okay.
Shut up.
So
Boomer,
it's kind
you know
of, yes. Yeah, I fucking love Groundhog Day. And so I started watching this anime, and like a couple, so basically one person loses their shit and absolutely demolishes this town. Like they just go crazy and start killing everybody. So, and then it resets, because I'm watching the anime, and like the second episode, it's like everything completely resets from what just happened in episode 1.
Okay.
And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Yeah. And so from there, and then later on down the line, you find out that it's like a person that's looping back to that time. I don't want to go into it too much because I don't want to spoil anything if anyone wants to watch the show. But it's fantastic. I actually got to meet the English voice actor for Rena. I think I have the print here somewhere. Dude, I've met so many voice actors. It's crazy. That's my thing now, is going to conventions and meeting these voice actors from these animes that are just really cool people to meet in person and everything. I've even hired a couple that I've met at these cons to do some voices on the songs. So the first 2 songs, that was just someone I picked up from Fiverr. But she's super nice. She knows exactly what I wanted for the songs, and she nailed every part. So the first song that I did, Shadows of Ink and Sorrow, was actually about a game that's kind of like an anime game, but it's called Doki Doki Literature Club.
I'm sorry?
Doki Doki Literature Club.
Doki Literature Club. Okay.
It is disturbing on so many levels. My friend recommended me this game. She's like, "Oh, you're gonna love it, brother."
Is it?
It's dark. It is so dark, and it really pulls at your heartstrings too, because you feel for these characters. And man, I really don't want to ruin anything about it, but if somebody wants to play it, but I think everyone kind of has at this point. But basically, it's a psychological horror where this one character in the game becomes sentient, and they know they're in the game, and they speak to you directly.
Wait, so in the game they're talking to you?
Yes, and then they use your gamer tag when they were speaking to you. They're like, "Oh, I know it's not this person that I'm speaking to. I'm actually speaking to Nick," and then my gamer tag. I was like, "What is this?"
You're like, "All right, that's enough internet, Skynet."
Dude, shout out to, I mean, the creator of the game is just a madman, but he's so Dan Salvato. He's such a cool guy. I kind of messed up whenever I released Shadows of Ink, because I used a portion of the song, and I credited him for it, but it actually made him as a featured artist. Emailed me like, "Hey, Terminal Decay, I appreciate you doing this, but I'm not actually in the song. You only use like a couple seconds of it, so you don't have to actually do that, and it's going to confuse my listeners." I was like, "Oh, okay, my bad, bro." So that was a whole thing. I had to take him off of there, but no, people are still receptive to the song because it's about one of the characters from the game. Yeah, it was pretty cool though, because people were like desperate to reach out to Dan and kind of just talk to him, and I'm getting an email from him like, "Hey man, maybe you shouldn't do this. Hey, can you take me off of there?"
It's like listen, Nick, I could just see him like getting a couple emails or a couple like pings or notifications that he's been listed as a co-creator. He's like, "I'm fucking what?"
Yeah.
Goes and listens to it, and he's just like, "Well, damn, okay." Like, what would, I mean, I'm just curious, like, maybe you reach back out to him later and say, "Hey, I've got this other thing, you want to jump on it?" Or, I mean, I don't know how that would work. I'm not a musician, so.
Yeah, I mean, that would be cool for sure. He's very, I would say, he kind of stays away from it now. He created the game, and it's like, he doesn't really want, it doesn't seem like he really wants much to do with it outside of just, promoting it and things like that. But yeah, he says not to reach out to him about the game and stuff like that. I'm sure people still do because they want a second one. But I mean, it is it is what it is. But yeah, fantastic game. My first song was actually based on that. A lot of people really liked it. They liked the fact that I brought in a voice actor to play the characters and stuff, just to bring some immersiveness to the song, and then actually write the lyrics around the character from the song as well. But yeah, again, going back to creating music that is about these characters and what they're feeling and everything, and just, it's an intense moment whenever these characters are going through these events that is dark and just, just very dark episodes. And I wanted to kind of capture that in the music and the atmosphere of it and everything. So that's for those two songs. This next EP coming out is an original character of mine because I want to avoid copyright at all costs.
Yes.
So now I have started to create my own character. This one's going to be Miyoko Akebane, which I actually have a favorite voice actor of mine that got to play her, which is wild to me that I still hear her on the song. I can't say her name just yet, but it's from one of my favorite shows. But yeah, I'll announce that later on upon the release and everything. But yeah, I'm super excited about it. She was very cool, and the lines that she delivered were just amazing, creepy. She caught the vibe of Miyoko that I was going for. But yeah, it's difficult. It is so difficult having a character idea that you're going to use, and then you're like, I don't want to go into copyright those. It's like complete 180, creating a brand new character with a whole new story backline and everything that has nothing to do with the other character that I was going to reference previously, which was going to be Tomie from Juni Ito. Ito, like crazy psychological horror anime and stuff like that. Very dark, but his pinnacle creation and character was definitely Tomie. So yeah, I was looking into it and stuff, and I was like, no, I'm not going to do that.
It's like when people talk to me about music, they start talking about albums or producers or this, and it's so much to take in. People that are into a thing. Like if I started talking about water chemistry, people will be like, oh yeah, sure, great. But the anime world to me is, I mean, there's so many different animes that are based on literally, I mean, there's so much. Again, it's one of those worlds where you kind of gotta like not put your blinders on, but like you can be a fan of it all, but you really are like, okay, I like this. And I just find like horror anime in my mind. I'm just sitting here thinking like, what are they going through? That's like, I'm going to create a cartoon about some of the most, wildest, horrific shit. Like you said, psychological.
Yes.
And so, whenever my kid started watching it, obviously she started with the lower level stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously Dragon Ball and everything up from there. But now she's
grew up with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Now I couldn't even tell you what she's into now. But as a parent, you got to be careful because just because it's anime, it's animated, but it comes off as cartoonish. But some of these things are seriously, like you said, they're
dark, dude.
Pretty fucking disturbing.
Yeah.
So I'm so I don't want to be one of those like helicopter parents where kiddos on the iPad just kind of watching some stuff, and then I peek over her shoulder and it's just like this anime where I have no fucking clue what's going on, but I know that she may or may not be, watching something that could, just imagine a 12-year-old watching the anime that you're talking about. You know what I mean?
Higurashi or Akame ga Kill.
Yeah.
Dude, there's one anime that, I mean, some of these animes, like, they will get to you emotionally because of the character. You get attached to a character, and all of a sudden their head's being stuck on a pike. And you're like, oh, dude, there was this one anime called Akame ga Kill. It's called Akame ga Kill.
Okay.
And
teach me,
man, dude. Okay, so Akame ga Kill. So it's basically about these characters in this kind of assassins guild called Night Raid, and so the leader Akame or whatever, they go out and they assassinate these people, but sometimes the members of Night Raid don't make it through an episode. Oh. And it's a character that, you know, you can't get attached to any of the characters because, man, I hope I'm not spoiling this or anything, but man, like you can't, I will just say you can't get attached to any of the characters. And one of them, Chelsea, that I really liked, she was, you know, she could shapeshift and change herself into, you know, one of the other people or something like that from the other, they were called the Jaegers. So they were more so the bad guys. They were trying to fight Night Raid. So anyways, Chelsea kind of disguises herself as one of them, and then they find out and they find her. And then the last thing you see is like her getting chopped up by one of the fucking dudes. And the main character, he goes into town to try to find Chelsea. And then everyone's like staring up at this pike, like way up in the air. And you just see Chelsea's head just stuck up there. I was like, man, brother.
Some like Crusader type shit. Some Viking.
Dude, man, it made me so mad. I was so mad at that episode. Every time I watch a comedy guy kill now, I skip past it. I skip past it. Yeah, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that again. It's so funny. Like I tell people, I write like heavy dark shit, like horror anime music and stuff, but I'm not a heavy person.
Right.
Like I'm not like a dark, scary person or anything like that. I just like to write about it. But some things I just can't handle watching. It makes me feel uncomfortable. And that was one of the things, like seeing her, I was like, it made me feel a certain way.
So
same.
No, I was just gonna say, so I'm just curious.
Mm-hmm.
What, where did your anime, I don't want to call it obsession,
journey begin?
Yeah, yeah. Take me through that journey,
dude. I mean, it started with Dragon Ball Z. Whenever I was way younger, I was nerdy, ran around like Goku and stuff like that. You know, the normal, yeah, whatever. But yeah, and then I started getting into the real stuff, like the darker animes and stuff, whenever I got a little older. And it just kind of spanned from years. Because I remember the first one that I watched that was kind of in the darker realm was Dead Man Wonderland. Yeah, that was a lot of like killing, and they would use their blood as weapons. That was the craziest shit. Like they would use their blood would be their weapons to fight with.
Like would they wait?
They would like cut themselves and then
okay, thank you. I'm thinking yeah. Like, okay, do they have like some kind of special power where they can just like secrete their own blood, or do they have to like open themselves up?
Yeah, it would like they would cut themselves and then the blood would come out, and it would be like a knife or something like that, or they could turn it into a sword. It was, yeah, dude, it was crazy. So yeah, Dead Man Wonderland, I remember, was definitely the first one that I watched where I was like, okay, this is kind of dark.
Like, just imagine the writers of this show, like, okay, listen, guys, listen, I've got it. Their blood is their weapons, and then just everybody around the table is just give that man a raise, you know?
Yeah, right.
Like, golly. Okay, sorry. Yeah. I just had like I just had like a boardroom meeting somewhere in like Osaka. Yeah. Just, you know, they're like the 33rd tower overlooking, you know, downtown, and they're just having this conversation about blood weapons.
Yeah. It's just crazy. Yeah, it's just crazy to, you know, have an original idea. Like I saw it's kind of crazy. I was watching another one on Hulu called Summertime Rendering, and it felt exactly similar to Higurashi, where the character would loop back. And what's funny is one of the characters in there also is the voice actor for Rena from Higurashi. I was like, so yeah, but it was still a really good anime. There were some parts that weren't like Higurashi, so it was interesting. But dude, yeah, there's so many different stories and stuff, and it's not all dark. There's definitely like good outcomes in the horror animes where there's like a resolution that, you know, it kind of makes everything better. Like everything goes back to normal, and the killings don't even happen. Wow, I probably just spoiled a bunch of shit. Wow.
I'll just do some like sampling over this, or like technical difficulty.
Yeah. Redacted.
Just black screen.
Yeah. But yeah, speaking of producers and stuff like that, but talking more so on the musical side of where I'm going with the mixing, the mastering and all that. So I've been listening to quite a bit of Who Is It? Well, Distant for one. So Distant, I got
the band Distant.
Yeah, their band Distant. Yeah, the band Distant. I actually recently got their amplifier, their amp sim. Dude, it's crazy because I needed an amp that was dirty and just sounded fucking monstrous.
Okay.
There's a pedal on there called Destructor, and it's like a buzz synth, like I don't even know, like an octave buzz synth thing that just makes the guitar sound gnarly, especially the chugs and the harmonics. Like if you do a pinch harmonic, it just sounds nasty.
Okay.
But yeah, I started using that. I got the Odelholm kits from the Buster Odelholm stuff. I started like kind of watching him. Also, what is it? Simon Petroforte. I started watching him too. Just like all these producers, I'm like, how do I get my stuff to sound the way that on the records that I'm listening to? You know, sometimes you got to step back and do your own thing because you're not trying to copy exactly what they're doing,
right.
But you kind of want to see the blueprint. You want to see like, what are they doing to, get this sound and get it to this quality. And it's just a lot of listening. So a lot of listening went into, doing these mixes and stuff like that for the songs that I've done, which the EP is definitely way more involved than I have done mixing and mastering wise before.
Okay.
So this has been definitely more involved, doing the gain staging, the whole thing, kind of just doing all of that to make sure everything sounds good. But it's been quite a process. People are like, when is it coming out? Be patient.
Yeah.
Be patient. It's coming. I still got to track vocals and all of that. So yeah, I have a guy from Japan, actually. His name is Takia. He is going to do he's doing a guitar solo on one of the songs. And man, that dude is just, he's nuts. I just found him randomly on Instagram and I was like, I choose you. I messaged him and I was like, hey man, I really like your style of solo and lead playing. How much would you charge to do a solo? And yeah, we agreed on an amount and everything. And so he's currently writing the solo for one of the songs. But yeah, man, I'm really excited about this. I'm really excited about the whole project. It's definitely been different from the Haas Effect, because the Haas Effect it was different because the Haas Effect felt like it was not a cohesive thought, if that makes any sense. The lyrics and everything were kind of on the go. There was no main story or anything like that, like with Terminal Decay, where it's already kind of like I have a story for the lyrics to go to. Whereas the Haas Effect, it was like I was writing more so in the moment and how I was feeling.
Yeah, I need, not in a sense that, oh God, I need lyrics, but you've got I would assume you've basically got the song done and then you're just trying to fill it in with lyrics, or you're just trying to,
essentially, yes.
Okay.
And whatever I'm feeling, like it was more so, those songs were definitely more about personal things, like personal things, what I was going through, maybe somebody else's something that they're going through, but yeah, more so that kind of realm of lyrics and stuff like that. Where Terminal Decay is just, it's about fucking anime character and what they're going through, and it's just, yeah, and I can write that story and create that person, and go from there. So it's definitely, it's made it easier for the songwriting, I want to say, because, and especially with the lyrics and everything, because again, it's easier to write to when you already have an idea thought out. Whereas the Haas Effect, I'm like, oh fuck, what do I write about? Like, shit.
You're like,
I already sang about that.
Hey Siri, I need lyrics to this song. Siri. Listen. But no, I think that you're just listening to Terminal Decay. I haven't given it the in-car test, but I definitely, headphones and through the speakers downstairs on the surround sound. Sounds
sweet.
Sounds thick, man. Sounds really good. I know. I remember. I can't remember what song it was, but you had told me specifically, like, "Hey, you need to listen to this song with headphones, like in ear or some, a very good set of head, because there was this like spatial 4D kind of sound. It just like,
yeah,
it was wild. Okay, I hope I'm gonna find the song, listen to it again if you know the one I'm talking about. But for those listening and watching, find this song, or maybe I'll leave it in the comments or something. But it sounds like it's going behind you, but also panning left and right. So it's this really immersive type sound. And, the fact that you're mixing and master that, I could only imagine, the process to go to do something like from that to, the deathcore style where, you're trying to tell this story, and deathcore, it's more, I don't know, in terms of, producing, what was the Haas effect to Terminal Decay. Is there any, like, I feel like for producers, there's a lot of muscle memory, especially if you're producing the same style of music, like metalcore, deathcore, hardcore, you got like your EQs and this, that, and the other. So
yeah,
from the production side, going from Haas effect and then your downtime and then picking up with Terminal, like, was there any like bad habits you had to get rid of, or any like new tricks you needed to learn to kind of?
There were definitely some new tricks. Really, honestly, it was more so just kind of just making it dirty, honestly, because my whole thing with the Haas effect was clean. I wanted it to sound clean and polished and all this production quality and stuff. Whereas with Terminal Decay, I just wanted it to sound dirty and gritty and just have that dark ambience to it and everything. But yeah, it was kind of like just being more aggressive with how I listen, like how I attack, like EQing and stuff like that, just making it more aggressive, using more saturation and stuff like that. Saturation really can help with, creating some cool harmonic distortion and things like that. But yeah, like some adding that and then compressors on top of that. But yeah, not really much so of the bad habits on the Haas effect, but more so like learning some newer tricks with Terminal and just kind of doing what sounds good. Like, okay. It doesn't matter if if it's clipping. I mean, you got to fix the clipping issues and stuff like that, but more so just getting it to a level that sounds good. And it's always, I've never worked on an actual console, so I can't say like how it would sound if I were to do it on a console versus doing it in the box, because I've always done it on the computer. I've never been in an actual studio or anything like that to do anything, or mix like on like a SSL console or something. I can only imagine how it would sound, but I mean, I've never been in a studio.
All these knobs, all these. My God, what can?
This is a real SSL bus compressor. That's what it sounds like.
I've watched countless, song, because I like, kind of like your biscuits this morning. I like to know what's in the mix, right?
Yeah.
So
right.
I'm a huge consumer of the music. I'm not. Some songs I'm in for the lyrics, but for the most part, and I think maybe most people, when you hear the music first, it like the intro to Terminal is like this creepy kind of like, oh, okay, what's getting ready to happen? And then here comes the crescendo, and then it just catches you, because half the time we're not going to understand what you're going to say, especially in the deathcore realm. I was watching some video on Instagram where there's like, I don't know the page, but the dude is like, and there's multiple other videos that have been out there like this, where you take like a deathcore song or a song where the screaming is just through the roof, but you just say it plainly. It's like, I will kill you, and you just say it in the most flat monotone, and his wife is like riding shotgun, his kids in the back, and like the the music comes back in, and he's like get the china, get the china, and she pulls out this little china. So he's like driving, and he's like just
that's great.
It's so great. It's so good. But yeah, when it comes to working on music, like at a studio setting, like you said, on an SSL console, like if you sat down in front of a console like that, we'll just call it a modern day console at a mid-level studio, because there's I wouldn't even know where to begin walking into a studio, but do you think that, like, what would you change or what would you tweak if you did have the opportunity to sit down, like, in an actual studio in front of this console? Would you even know how to run it? I guess we should start there.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's more so down to the, the console. And then, I've seen, like, I've been in studios like that where, they had their compressors and racks and stuff like that. And, so with the console, I mean, it's basically like you have your faders and everything where you have all the tracks. So it would be more so like you have everything running into it. So guitars, and then they have like the patch bays where you can patch in certain effects and compressors and things like that, because everything is patched out to compressors, reverbs, and stuff like that you can add in. So, I mean, I've actually been in a studio where, a couple times where I could see all of that. And then also just learning from other producers, some producer friends and stuff like that work in studios like that, and kind of explain it to me. Cause I'm like, I'm working on Studio One where I have, the faders and everything. Like, how does that translate to an actual console? Yeah, like plugins is more so like just taking like the patch cable and patching it into, like a certain compressor that you're wanting to run into. So like, say you have a snare, you would just patch that snare into like, a 76 compressor or something like that. Yeah, so that's kind of what I think how that would go.
For the record, I have no fucking idea what you just said, but
that's okay.
It sounded very knowledgeable. I would hire you off Fiverr to mix my shit just based off that, right?
I appreciate that.
Like, yeah, he said, like, I'm just sitting there with a notepad, and I have like little check marks where you mentioned like keywords like compressor, patch, latency, gain, and it's like, he said all of those. He's hired. I have no fucking clue. I've got an AI agent that does all of my work for me now, so I'm Skynet Central.
You're good.
Yeah, I'm good. But I will admit that I do miss the how do I phrase this? I do miss doing the work, if that makes sense. So whereas I used to record, all the inputs and throw it into Adobe Audition, and lay because on my side I'm pretty set up. I'm already pre-EQ'd and everything, and I just kind of do a little soft touches here and there. My challenge is always, what is my guest? What is the equipment that my guest is working with? And I've had to overcome a lot of challenges with people's setups, and thankfully through Riverside.fm, they now have this thing called Magic Audio, where I just click a button, and within seconds it eliminates, I don't know how much time that I have saved with this software. It's
That's
amazing.
So cool. That's awesome.
Like but still I miss going in, and you'll hear like it has the ability to take out, Oz, and they call it fluff. It's like delete the fluff, and you're like click, and it's like gone, and like, fuck, man.
Whoa.
It would take like somebody told me a long time ago, like for every minute that you record audio, you have like 2 or 3 minutes worth of editing, and for like every minute of video, it's like 4 or 5x that. So
I believe that for sure. Yeah.
So I definitely do missing going in there and spacebar, highlight, delete, continue, splice. Okay, cool.
Do you?
Yeah,
do you miss it?
I mean, I think
no, it's fun for me. I manually edit my guitars and stuff like that and other things. So if I have to go in and there's a part that, there's just noise, I have to go in, cut it out. And it's just, trust me. Yeah, I know all about the editing part. Yes. The editing is, yes.
But I think that's for me. It's like, I'm doing that. Like, I'm creating this. I'm not just one clicking my way through life these days. Like a lot of us are. Like, here, sign up for this, click, or one touch pay, click. You just But yeah, like I said earlier in the beginning, I used to do the show one way, and then because life happened and job change and just studio renovation, I haven't really been haven't really been hitting it hard on the episodes, and I feel bad, right? I feel like there are people out there that are genuinely interested in not only what I do here supporting the scene, but also in the people that I interview. And so with this software, that definitely helps speed things up. But I miss doing some of the cool stuff, like the audio intro, like the intros, like, thanks to shout out to Come and Take It Productions, go to comeandtake.com, or, while the music's playing in the background, and I have to make sure that I have that level just right to where my voice punches through, but you still hear it. But then you're like, okay, can they hear it in headphones? How does it sound in the car? How does it sound through a TV? How does it sound through a phone on fucking speaker?
All very important. Yes.
Yeah. And I've learned through talking to people like you, through our buddy Josh, shout out Josh. We love you.
Yes, Josh, we love you.
Yeah, my boy Taylor Anderson from Titan Audio Productions, but he's the front of house guy at Come and Take It now. And
Taylor,
I mean, that
dude, Taylor
wizard,
helped me.
Wizard.
Dude, yeah, I love Taylor. That he's so cool. He actually reached out to me because he wanted to kind of help me with my production journey, and he helped me get some Fab Filter plugins. And oh my God, dude, they're my Swiss Army knife. Like, I couldn't do a mix without Fab Filter plugins.
Fab Filter. What is that?
Fab Filter, dude. It's like, that's the name of the plugin. So it's like EQs, compressors, and things like that.
So it's like a package.
Yeah, it was basically like a package of these Fab Filter plugins. So like Saturn, all pretty damn expensive plugins that, they're just fantastic though. They make it so much easier. Like with the EQ, okay, so think about it this way. So like with the EQ, you can do like mid-side, you can actually do some mid-side processing. So let's say you want to take the low-end kick out of your sides. You would set it up as a mono,
Okay.
Or it would set it to mono, and then if you drag it, you will notice that the kick, you can hear it more in the middle than you can in the sides, and your sides will kind of free it. Yeah, so you keep that low end rumble out of the sides of the mix, and then let's say your guitars, you need to bring them up more in the sides. Make make like a bell, or make like a cut with a it like maybe 5K, like 7K, where the guitar attack is, and just kind of bring that up a little and put it in side mode, and you'll notice you'll hear your guitars start coming out more in the sides. So it's a fantastic plugin. And then it also has dynamic processing too, where it ducks down on certain parts, almost like compressing the signal or whatever. But yeah, that's just one plugin. And then the saturation, and then the Saturn 2 is like, everyone fucking uses that. Buster Odoholm, I was watching, and that was like one of his go-to plugins was Saturn. But yeah, just fantastic plugins. I can't thank Taylor enough for those, because they have been a lifesaver, honestly.
Yeah,
they have saved my mixes a lot of times.
Again, for anybody listening or watching, if you want, I'm over here like pimping Taylor out like he works for me, or like he's even asked for this, but I always tell people, I'm here to help. I may not know how to do the thing, but I know plenty of people that do know how to do the thing, whatever that thing is. And, I know when it comes to mixes, sometimes you become so close to it that you just need that other set of ears, that other, someone from a different perspective to go, well, Nick, all of this sounds great, but here, try this plugin, or, try this compressor, or try this trick. And you're like, damn, you're right, dude. And I think that's really cool about, the day and age in which we live through, the ability to share music and share ideas. Like the guy that you saw on Instagram that, oh man, what is happening to this? I'm all glitchy.
It is.
Whoa.
No, what's going on?
Hold on. Is my camera about to die? Hold on.
No.
Okay, so let me swap out my battery on my camera. just stay here. This will all come back.
Sure, go ahead. Okay. Are you having trouble sleeping at night? Boy, do I have the product for you. Now a word from our sponsor.
Boy, I was always nasally and everything all the time until I switched to nose strips for sleeping.
Now I can breathe just fine. I don't snore and wake up my wife in the middle of the night.
Whoa, I just got a warning. This is new.
A warning? What?
Yeah, man. Okay, I'm out of frame. This is okay. We're gonna edit all this out, but we're gonna keep rolling. So it says devices struggling. I fixed it. See?
What happened?
I'm back. The fuck?
Just throw it out the window, whatever it was.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you know, here at the ATX Metal Podcast Studio, we are known for technical difficulties and delays.
There you are.
There we are. Yay. We're back. We are known here at the studio for technical difficulties, and you just got to live through one. That was my bad. It wasn't the battery camera, even though I did need to swap it out. And yeah, fuck, we've been going for 15 minutes. Didn't even realize we've gone that long, but
cool.
No, just for some reason, my power cable was not plugged in my computer all the way. And the warning was that, you know, the device that I'm using is struggling to process literally everything. And that's why it was like, we're just running out of juice. That's all. We're just running out of juice.
And we're back.
Thank you for the word from our sponsors. No strips.
Yes, no strips.
Yes.
Man.
Those
lifesavers. Relationship savers.
Man, yeah, we'll switch gears here and go for a little personal. But yeah, I was in the Marine Corps 2001, 2006, and then spent another 5 years as a civilian contractor. And long story short, they passed the PACT Act, where there was like airborne, they call it like it's literally called the Burn Pit Registry, where veterans can sign up and enroll in healthcare for airborne toxins. So like I can't really breathe super good out of I'm not like deviated septum bad, but they said that based off of where I was at and how long I was exposed to it, that I have something called rhinitis. Anyway, just inflamed nasal passages, so I can't really breathe that well. So they were like, maybe you should try these nasal strips. And I was like, okay. And man, I was standing there looking at them at HEB. There's like almost like salsa flavors. There's mild, medium, and hot, but it's like strong, stronger, strongest.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, you know, let me go mid. And these are like tape. So you were talking about earlier, the ones they're like magnetic.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's so crazy how it just like clicks it and it just opens you up.
Yeah.
And man, I sleep so much better. So much better.
Same, bro. I'll wake up because before, you know, I had fears that I had, because, you know, my wife, she was saying how loud that I snore. I had feared that I had like sleep apnea. But apparently it was definitely nose prone, because whenever I got the nasal strips, I did notice that I could breathe easier. And then she said the first night that I had it on, there was no snoring at all.
There it is. Problem solved.
I was like,
relationship saved.
Yeah.
But man, sorry for that little interruption. I kind of fucked our flow up. But
no worries at all. What were we talking about there? What were we talking about?
God, we're such ADHD kids these days.
We are, bro. We are.
Was it processing music?
Yeah, processing the music and everything. The plugins.
Plugins, console, Taylor, music.
Yes. Yeah.
Sound, music, noise.
Yes.
Well, speaking of noise, Terminal Decay's obviously out now. What was the other one that's out currently?
So it's Shadows of Ink and Sorrow, and then Rena's Descent, the Hinamizawa Syndrome.
And then we have how many more tracks are? Oh God, I thought I turned that off. I'm sorry, guys.
So 4 tracks are in the works for the EP. Yeah, that's going to be about Miyoko Akabane. So the EP is like a working title. Still working on that. Yeah, and this is the first time I actually because the first 2 album covers are actually AI made. I just like did my own shit with them and put my logo and stuff. But this time I actually reached out to an artist to create the art, and it was just so much better. It's hand drawn and everything. I showed it to you.
Yeah, looks great.
But it feels better to promote that, because it was something that was actually hand drawn as opposed to something that was just computer generated, which sometimes I would be embarrassed to share it and be like, well, I didn't actually make this. But yeah, like just like having merch and stuff like that for it, or wanting to make something to promote it. But yeah, no, this is going to be all mine. Like it's all hand drawn and everything. Lighting looked cool. It was like like a cloud came over. A cloud came over, and the lighting in the room just got really soft, and it looks nice right now on the camera.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's definitely different this time around with having an actual artist for the EP, because I'm just going all out with this shit. Like I definitely am. I put a lot of time into it, a lot of money.
Yeah, real quick. Yeah,
Yeah.
how long has this project of yours been, I guess, in the works? Like how from,
Dude.
you know what I mean?
Okay, so let me see. So my first song came out back in November. So Terminal Decay has only been around almost for about a year now. So this started after I started writing the EP, probably after like a month after Rena's Descent. I was like, I got to do EP now. Like I have to. Like I have the fans for it that actually want to hear this. I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna do an actual 4-song EP. And because before with like the Haas Effect, whenever I would do the EP, it was just a bunch of singles that were jumbled together that were not linear. You know, they would all come out one at a time. Yeah, they would all come out at one at a time, and then I just made it into a compilation basically. But with this, all these 4 songs are going to be brand new to everybody whenever they come out. So I'm excited about that, because it's been a work in progress for sure, and I really hope people enjoy it, because I've had a lot of fun making it, honestly. And it's so funny because nobody really knows. I don't have a lot of pictures or anything of myself or any of this on my Terminal Decay page. So I mean, I did a live video once of kind of introducing myself to people, but haven't done any kind of interviews or anything about it, because it's just been kind of like in the shadows. Like, it's Terminal Decay. Who is this guy? What is it? An entire band? No, it's just me. It's just me.
It's just the lovely Nick Haas just doing what he does.
Oh, I appreciate that.
No,
but man, yeah, it's been a lot of fun, and it was funny because whenever I first came out, people were like, "Well, this is an entire band. When are they going on tour?" Sorry,
I'm just gonna hang out in my room, and you can enjoy this wherever you want to. I think, and that's another thing, the ability. I mean, obviously, so you're a multi-instrumentalist, correct? Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think that's rad, and kind of going back to what you're saying about being able to create something and have something that's yours versus just, computer generated stuff. I do think that AI does have its place.
Yes. Yeah.
To, like, again, it assists me and makes my, this passion project that I've got going, just makes life, doesn't make life, it makes the process of, creating this content way easier. And like I shared that flyer with you that is coming up. Oh, yeah, holy shit, let me break some.
Yeah,
I gotta hit the button. Ladies and gentlemen, God, this fucking microphone. Okay, come here. We're gonna end it like this.
All right.
I'm going to break some news. Let's see. What's today? Today is October 12th. Maybe by the time you hear this, I will have already announced it, but December 6th, everybody knows that the ATX Metal Podcast Showcase is going down at Come and Take It Live.
Woo!
And I am super excited. I'm starting to get all the band logos. I haven't released, obviously, I'm trying to think ahead, when I'm going to release this episode, but also have talked about the showcase. If I haven't already said it, I'm saying it now. December 6th, ATX Metal Podcast Showcase. We've got 7 bands, potentially 8. There's one little outlier that I think is, if I can get that band, will be a really fucking spicy mix.
Nice.
But I'm really looking forward to this. There's going to be all the interviews with all the bands that are going to be coming down the pipeline. So I'm pretty excited about that. And, just being able to share, information like that and music like yours, it's kind of why I still do this, man. I really do think that I keep coming back to mid-teens, 2000s, when we first started this podcast, how the music scene here in Austin was just, I don't know, it was just vibrating. It was on this other frequency. And then obviously COVID happened, and then all the fallout from that. And there's this resurgence, and I'm starting to see more and more people do more and more things new bands, new projects, being able to go back and, just kind of retool some things or put some stuff, that was on paper, now put it into practice. And I just think it's great. So if you want to come out. I think the tickets are going to be like $20, $25, but people are like, man, that's a lot of money. Like, no, dog, like, no,
no, not for
20 is the new 10, right?
Yeah, exactly.
20 is the new 10.
I'm about to go put $20 in my car for gas.
Yeah, right. I mean,
you just got it sometimes. Yeah,
sometimes you gotta spend 20 to get places, but
yeah, exactly.
So there's that. When can we expect the release of the new EP?
Man, I'm aiming for November because the instrumentals and everything are already written. So it's really just down to, I got to get the solo from Takia, and then after that, it is really just getting the lyrics and everything down and getting the vocals down, which once it flows, like, dude, I just go with it. And that was another thing too, vocal wise, coming from just singing and stuff, from singing and doing screaming with the Haas effect. So just moving to just screams and learning how to do different screams, like lower screams, like stuff that I didn't even think that I could attempt. It's been different and kind of crazy. And, learning like new different breathing techniques and stuff like that, actually taking lessons to kind of find my voice and what I can do and what I can't do.
Wow.
So yeah, it's been a lot. And I really think that was my biggest problem with the Haas effect, was I would just wing it with vocals. So it wasn't like I wasn't doing any kind of like warm up or anything like that before I started doing the singing and all of that. So, definitely taking time to do warm ups and do technique training and stuff like that. Who is it? Extreme Metal Vocal Institute has been a huge help to helping me find my voice and, getting the growls and things like that, getting to where I like them to be and how it sounds good in the music, which that was a whole nother thing. Was when I was writing this music, I was like, I got to put vocals to it now. Like, I have the instruments. Yeah.
Wait a minute, guys. I think we need to, there's something. Oh yeah, the vocals. We need some vocals over here.
Yeah, the vocals. Yeah, I think, that might, but just, and it was difficult at first trying to find my voice because I hadn't done like high screams and deep guttural vocals like I do now, which it's just taken time to learn. And now I've taught myself to go lower and doing different mouth shapes. And like, it's crazy what you can do with your mouth, and you can manipulate things with your tongue and stuff like that.
Brother, I am clipping that. I'm putting that on the sample pad.
It's crazy what you can do with your mouth.
Woo!
Yeah.
Perfect.
Just like it's crazy what you can do to create different sounds that just sometimes can sound otherworldly too. Where it's like, what in the fuck is that dude saying?
Yeah, I mean, it's especially because, like you said, you really have to learn different techniques for the different sounds that you want to make, and
exactly.
And all of that has to mesh with the with the music that you created, because I mean, sometimes a mix can just sound blown the fuck out, and you're just you're like, where are the vocals? Yeah, where are the vocals? Dude. And they're buried underneath the fucking Wheatleys that are going on, and the quad bass just ripping your face off. I mean, there's so much going on that, like I think deathcore is one of those genres where you got to be a little more dialed in. Yeah, I mean, to kind of draw everything out and put it in its proper place so that you can appreciate everything that's baked in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because there's I'll be listening in my car, and there'll be some mixes where I'm like, where the fuck did the vocals go?
Yeah.
Because I like my shit loud in my car. Like I have, when I'm driving places,
loud approved,
Houston, so I have to fucking have the shit up loud. But yeah, sometimes I'm like, where the fuck? This is all kick drum. Where's the instruments? Where's the vocals and stuff? So I have definitely kind of, whenever I listen, I'll listen in my car and everything, and I want to make sure that you can hear everything, guitars on the sides, kick in the middle and snare and everything is coherent, like you can hear it, and it's not masked by anything else. Like I just switched to a different bass plugin because The other plugin that I was using, it just sounded too flubby, and because I was going too low with the guitar. Switch that up. Bass is tighter. It definitely sounds better. It cuts more in the mix. So that was something that I changed up recently on it, and it sounds much better. It reinforces the guitar more, so there's that too. But yeah, there's just different things that you can do to definitely just take time and listen to the mix, and like, why doesn't this sound good in my car? Oh, dude, I've had those moments where I'll mix it. It sounds great on my monitors. I take it out to my car, and I'm like, fuck.
Yeah. You're
Why
like,
is
well,
the kick? Yeah.
back to the drawing board.
Yep. And a lot of it had to do with going back and doing gain staging and make sure that proper levels. Leveling everything at the beginning, like bringing everything down, and then just kind of, going by, I use a chart now to determine like how the level should be before, it hits or anything like that. So I use a chart now to kind of gain stage everything to where everything is sitting at a certain level so that it's not louder than anything else. And then it's also just listening to it too and make sure that everything is balanced. So as long as you have a balanced mix, then that's when you start throwing in compressors, limiters, and stuff like that. But yeah, it's been quite a bit of a learning experience too, like you were asking me about with doing the Haas effect and everything and that music and then switching over. But yeah, just really listening and finding out what plugins actually do and listening for compression and limiting and stuff like that. There's a lot of things that you can learn, or just have the plugin and you're like, what the fuck does this even do? And then you go and you use it and you're like, okay,
You're like, we like that.
doing. Yeah, I hear what that's doing. Let me use that. I'm going to utilize that in my mixing phase now. But yeah, I have a question for you, Ryan.
Go for it.
You have heard terminal decay. Does it stank? Does it stank?
Brother, hit me in the feels with that one. I would definitely put that on the stankometer for sure. Thank you for those that don't know, if you know, we used to do this segment called Does It Stank? And definitely 1000% bringing that back. I wanted to make sure that, kind of like, doing a mix and doing a master, I wanted to make sure that the idea was sound. I even bounced it off Mr. Chuck Loesch from 93.7 HD2 No Control Radio. I asked him, because he used to run the Metal Sucks podcast with Chuck and Godless. That's kind of how all this started. And he's still jamming on here in Austin. It's 93.7 HD2. Most cars today have the power to do high definition radio. So you just have to, go to 93.7, click the dial over. But you can also find it on, I think there's various apps, Apple CarPlay. I think he showed me how to get there, but you can access it even if you don't have HD. You can go through. Plus, he releases Midnight Metal. He goes five nights a week now and releases it on SoundCloud. So just look up No Control Radio on SoundCloud. But the Does It Stank was basically, we would get music sent to us and we would just, does it stank? And there's two sides to that, right? Like, is it like, does it stank? Like, it could be better. And then we would give feedback to whoever, wrote the music, just like constructive criticism. Cause like we said earlier, like sometimes you get too close to it, you need different ears. And everybody that was on what we call the council was, they had audio experience and played music. So I was like, target demographic, does it make your head bob or give you, stank face? Whereas they were the people that would be like, okay, right here, yeah, I would probably do this, or, maybe use this plugin or something. So it was like a reaction video, but no, I don't know. I didn't want, because at the time when this was going on, reaction videos were like the thing. Everybody was doing reaction videos. People asked me like, why is ATX Metal Podcast not doing reaction videos to local music? And I'm like, well, I don't know. Maybe I just didn't have the bandwidth at the time, but in 2026, 100%, there will be, I think we're going to call it like Stanky Saturday or something. I don't know. But basically we're going to start, opening up the inbox for any music that you want to just get out, and whether you're happy with it or not, we'll give it a spin, and we'll tell you, like, does it stank? Because I think that's, it's fun. I mean, I'll be like, seriously, when I actually did have a stanky moment when I was jamming it in the car, I was just like, okay, Nick, congrats. Thank you. My Lanta, that was, can't wait to rip this one, in some other audio format. But yeah, it stanks. It hits the meter. 5 smells. I fear. I remember we had this one where we were going around and like, what's your, because it's kind of like the show, whose line is it anyway? Where the points don't matter. And that was kind of, we would just go around the room, like everybody had like their personal stank level, and people would just throw out like, yeah, that's like a week's worth of dirty diapers in a hot garbage bin in Mesa, Arizona in July. And you're just like, you can almost smell that, right? You can smell that. So that was like the catch, the cool thing about going around the room and asking people like the stank meter, like how bad did it stink? But man, good times. Well, Nick, man, thank you very much for joining me on such short notice. I mean, we literally were chatting last night, and I was like, hey, let's jump on, let's rip pod, man. I appreciate you as an artist, as a musician. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm pretty sure that once this gets out there, you're going to gain a few more followers. I'll contribute somehow. You know what I mean?
Much, dude, thank you. Thank you so much for that. Honestly, I appreciate you bringing me on today. It really means a lot. I love just catching up with you two. Like,
yeah, man.
It's been great. I mean, life happens. Life happens. I know you had a job changeover. So did I. Much better quality of life. It's crazy how much, like, I even live in a new place now where I have my own studio area.
Yeah,
which I didn't have before. I think if you remember, I was living like in a 1-bedroom, like loft style apartment where, my bed was right behind me. Now it's a bunch of anime shit.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, no, dude, it's so nice. I have like an E-kit now. I have everything that I could want to create the music that I want. And I have my own space to do that. So yeah, man, thank you so much again. It's been fantastic speaking with you, Ryan. Yeah, again, Terminal Decay. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the podcast.
Yeah, brother, we're gonna try this real quick. We're gonna leave that hanging out in the background. But like he said, this is Nick Haas. Terminal Decay is the project. God, I cannot say this. I've got muck mouth today. Rena's Descent. Thank you.
Yes, Rena's Descent.
Rena's Descent is what you're listening to right now. It hits all the meters on the stank level. Definitely dirty diapers and hot garbage bins. And
I wasn't supposed to like this.
I really, God, I took the whole boom out.
Sing along, Ryan. Sing along.
I can't do it. I don't have the classic training that you do. But again, Terminal Decay, deathcore horror anime, Nick Haas, Ryan Rail. We love you guys. See you next time.
Later, guys.